Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, SoundClick. It's your boy Tune202, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and talk about these bombings that have been happening in New Jersey and New York. They got a guy, and he is, I don't know if he's American, but I'm sure they're gonna say that he's a Muslim because he looks Middle Eastern. And of course, that's gonna add fuel to the fire for the uh, activities that we have basically been doing in the Middle East and with the oil. And, I believe we went over there to take their oil because that's what we do, even though we have plenty of it here. You know, I believe that's why Gaddafi was killed because we went over there and took their oil too. I believe that's why Saddam Hussein was killed. He was our ally, and then we turned on him, and that was the war that I was in during that war. And I believe that the war soon after that was about the same thing. It was all about oil. Some people believe me, some people don't. I'm ex-military, so it's not a slight against the military. However, this guy, the pipe bombs he blew up were blown up near where military people were. And when I look at that, I'm like, that's not a coincidence. So, once again, I just think it's fuel to the fire. I don't know if the guy really did it or not. I know that I'm glad that nobody died. There were 29 people hurt. I am very glad of that. Uh, the last bombing we had here was Boston? And those people were, I don't know what country they were from, but they weren't from this country. And one of the guys died, and the other guy, I think he's in federal prison. But they weren't Muslims. And let's see. Then the last terrorist attack, of course, was, I think, was it Florida, where the gay whole thing, and they said that Mateen was a Muslim. And then when the story really came out and the FBI did investigations, they found out that it wasn't possible for Mateen to kill those people because of what the people had said. The 50, there were 50 people killed, I think. And the people who survived, what they had said in the timelines, it was just like, I don't think those people were killed by Mateen. He could not have gone in there and physically shot all those people. And so the investigators, were on the news saying either the people are lying or the SWAT team killed him. Now, these are investigators on high level saying this. And they're like, somebody's lying. And this is why I don't believe everything that I see on the news. They caught the guy. His father owned a restaurant. He lived above the restaurant. I'm talking about these recent bombings. He got into a shootout with him. He was injured, and they took him in. And with all the killing of the black people, especially in Baton Rouge, and the way they just murdered that dude, just cold-blooded, murdered and lied on him, they just killed him. It just makes me wonder, why didn't they shoot the crap out of this guy? I mean, he bombed New York City. You put a bomb in New York City and you're alive? You're out here just gunning down black people like we're pigeons. And this guy sets off 2 bombs and he had another bomb ready to go, even though they were pipe bombs. And this dude is alive? You take him into custody? I'm just, listen. I'm just skeptical of anything I see now. Anything that Fox News puts out, any face that they put out, especially when the investigator said that Mateen didn't kill those people, and then the shootings down in Chicago of the cops, and they said it was a military dude, and then you see some reports on that, and they're like, that dude didn't kill those people. People are saying the government did that. And I'm just, listen, people. If some guy from the Middle East did bomb New York, aiming at the military, you know, then you would look at the fact that it's not somebody who's necessarily Muslim. It's just somebody whose country has been under siege by us. I mean, that's what I'm looking at. It doesn't have to be a radical Muslim that comes out of nowhere and starts trying to blow up American people. It could just be somebody who is actually, because those countries have Christians too. It could be actually somebody of our same faith who just happens to be Middle Eastern, and next thing you know, there's a bomb sitting on top of their house, and the wife and kids get blown to smithereens right in front of their face, and they know it's the U.S. military who did it. That's enough to make somebody travel across the water and come over here and want to tear something up. Because we would do it. And we've done it. We've done it. When we thought the bin Ladens tore down the towers, what did we do? We went straight to war. We started killing people, and we haven't stopped since. What's really crazy is the bin Laden family are all Americans. They are American people. They were all living here. And what the government did was went and picked all those people up and they flew them out of the country. Why would you do that? Listen, bin Laden is not dead. President Obama did not kill him. His body is now out at sea and all this other garbage that they made up. That man is still alive. The bin Ladens are architects. They're trying to make it seem like this dude is still hiding in the mountains like a bull somewhere, and they went up and got him and killed him, and now the Navy SEALs are all heroes. It's really funny how a lot of those Navy SEALs died during that time. There was a helicopter that went down full of Navy SEALs. Well, you guys knew that. Full of Navy SEALs. Nothing but Navy SEALs, all dead. Even the Navy SEAL that they did that story about, he's dead too. It just makes me wonder, did you send them boys in there for some phony story and then you killed them all off? Because that's what it looks like. What I'm trying to say is, people, I am all for protecting America. But we know that in a month or two, Donald Trump is going to be the president. And if you have not seen his ads recently, uh, with Hillary Clinton, our border. I'm all right. How are you? Our borders are not secure. With Donald Trump, our borders are secure. The nation is secure. The families are safe, and all this other stuff. Then they show a picture of Huey flying over the border, them picking up supposedly Hispanics in handcuffs, putting them in trucks and shipping them across the border. And then you see the last picture that they show is a battleship. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see where this is going, people. It just doesn't. And then and I'm telling you, any war that has ever been started has to be sympathized by the people, because the people, listen, the military and the Senate have always been at odds, just like the religious leaders and kings, the Pope and the king, or it's always been like that. There's always been somebody this is why oftentimes the military leaders have just taken over their country, like Napoleon, and so on and so forth. Just look at history. But they all need the sympathy of the people. They all need, if the people start rebelling against what they're doing, they're fighting two wars. One, and where they're going or who they're fighting against. Another one, fighting amongst the people. And if you look at the French Revolution, you see how bad that went for the people who were swimming in strawberries while the other people were starving. And what I'm saying is, most of what we see now is all political. It's all to get us on the side of the military to say, oh, what they're doing is protecting us. But I don't believe that's what's happening. I believe Donald Trump is going to take us to war immediately. He's already asked 3 or 4 times in one meeting about nukes. And I think it's going to be a nuclear war. And I think what we're seeing with these bombings is just part of it. And I'm telling you, you're on your own. Protect yourself. It's your boy Tone 202.